Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Exposition of the Holy Quran. By Allama G. A. Parwez. Surah 5. Al-Ma'idah verse 51 to 120.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض ومن يتولهم منكم فإنه منهم إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين.
51. The differences between the Mu'mineen, on the one hand, and Jews and Christians, on the other, have become clear. Therefore, O Jamaat al-Mu'mineen, do not take them as friends despite the mutual enmity between Jews and Christians. They are one in their opposition to you. Mark this. Whosoever takes them as friends will be reckoned as one of them. Certainly the Zalimeen do not benefit from Allah's guidance.
فترى الذين في قلوبهم مرض يسارعون فيهم يقولون نخشى أن تصيبنا دائرة فعسى الله أن يأتي بالفتح أو أمر من عنده فيصبحوا على ما أسروا في أنفسهم نادمين. ويقول الذين آمنوا أهؤلاء الذين أقسموا بالله جهد أيمانهم إنهم لمعكم حبطت أعمالهم فأصبحوا خاسرين.
52 to 53. You will see that the Munafiqeen whose hearts are diseased hasten towards befriending Jews and Christians. They say that if they remain aloof from them they will fall into trouble. The time will soon come when you will gain victory over these people, or any other event may take place of his own devising. Whatever they conceal in their hearts will become manifest, and they will feel very regretful at that time. The members of the Jamaat al-Mu'mineen will say to one another, these were the people who used to swear that they were on our side. Then all the efforts of the Munafiqeen will be rendered waste, and they shall be the losers.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا من يرتد منكم عن دينه فسوف يأتي الله بقوم يحبهم ويحبونه أذلة على المؤمنين أعزة على الكافرين يجاهدون في سبيل الله ولا يخافون لومة لائم ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله واسع عليم.
54. O Jamaat al-Mu'mineen, beware that if you turn away from Allah's deen, you should not fancy that it will cause any harm to Allah. Nay, you will in fact harm your own self, because we will replace you by others who will obey His laws in preference to everything else in the world, and the result of their obedience will be recompense from Allah. They will act with humility towards each other, but will be firm towards their adversaries. They will strive hard in the cause of Allah and will not care about what others say. This is blessing from Allah which He bestows on those who wish to have it according to His laws, for Allah is infinite and all-knowing.
إن إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون ومن يتول الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون.
55 to 56 mark this. Your friends are Allah and the Rasul and the Jamaat al-Mu'minin who establish the system of Salat and Zakat and always keep themselves collectively submissive to Allah's laws. Those who take Allah and His Rasul and the Jamaat al-Mu'minin for friends will form a community responsible for the enforcement of Allah's laws. They will surely gain the upper hand.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم والكفار أولياء واتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين.
57 The Kafar and the Ahlul Kitab join together to scoff at your deen, so you should not take them as your friends. You should adhere to Allah's laws if you are true believers.
وَإِذَا نَادَيْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ اتَّخَذُوهَا هُزُوًا وَلَعِبًا ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَّا يَعْقِلُونَ. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ هَلْ تَنقِمُونَ مِنَّا إِلَّا أَنْ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْنَا وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِن قَبْلُ وَأَنَّ أَكْثَرَكُمْ فَاسِقُونَ.
58 to 59 When you call Mu'minin to Salat, these people make it an object of jest. They do not understand that this call is for an assembly of those who strive for their betterment. O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, ask these Ahlul Kitab if they seek vengeance from you for believing in Allah and what was revealed to their Rasul as well as to the earlier Anbiya. Most of them are, indeed, Fasiqeen.
قُلْ هَلْ أُنَبِّئُكُم بِشَرٍّ مِّن ذَلِكَ مَثُوبَةً عِندَ اللَّهِ مَن لَّعَنَهُ اللَّهُ وَغَضِبَ عَلَيْهِ وَجَعَلَ مِنْهُمُ الْقِرَدَةَ وَالْخَنَازِيرَ وَعَبَدَ الطَّاغُوتَ أُولَئِكَ شَرٌّ مكانا وأضل عن سواء السبيل.
60 Let us tell you who are those who lead wretched lives. They are the ones who, as a result of their wrongdoings, deprive themselves of Allah's blessings, incur His wrath, degrade their humanity, become objects of ridicule and scorn, and are subjected to those who are most oppressive too. 61, 65 They are in such a wretched position because they have strayed away from the straight path.
وَإِذَا جَاءُوكُمْ قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَقَدْ دَخَلُوا بِالْكُفْرِ وَهُمْ قَدْ خَرَجُوا بِهِ وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْتُمُونَ.
61 Whenever they come to you they say, "We believe," whereas the fact is that they both came and went back as unbelievers. Allah knows well what they hide.
وَتَرَى كَثِيرًا مِّنْهُمْ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ وَأَكْلِهِمُ السُّحْتَ لَبِئْسَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ.
62 You will find many of them hastening towards wrongdoing and excesses and keen on devouring what is unlawful. How heinous is all that they do.
لولا ينهاهم الربانيون والأحبار عن قولهم الإثم وأكلهم السحت لبئس ما كانوا يصنعون.
63 Why do their guardians of law and rabbis abstain from forbidding them to tell lies and devouring what is unlawful? Instead of enforcing Allah's laws, they follow their self-made laws. How heinous is all that they do.
وقالت اليهود يد الله مغلولة غلت أيديهم ولعنوا بما قالوا بل يداه مبسوطتان ينفق كيف يشاء وليزيدن كثيرا منهم ما أنزل إليك من ربك طغيانا وكفرا وألقينا بينهم العداوة والبغضاء إلى يوم القيامة كلما أوقدوا نارا للحرب أطفأها الله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا والله لا يحب المفسدين.
64 When Allah asks the Jamaat al-Mu'minin to give financial help for the establishment of the divine order, Jews say, "Look at their Allah, his own hands are tied and he is begging for help." The fact is that the Jews have become so miserly that they do not spend anything for the benefit of mankind, with the result that they are deprived of Allah's bounties. Allah's hands are stretched out wide open, but his ways are his own. His plan is implemented through the instrumentality of human beings. Instead of reflecting on what we are saying, their kar and excesses are accentuated by it, because it points out their weaknesses and wrongdoing. The result of their attitude is that they develop enmity and spite towards each other. Wherever they live, they will try to spread disorder and kindle the fire of war which Allah puts out through other people. They run about spreading disorder in the land. Allah does not like such mufsideen.
ولو أن أهل الكتاب آمنوا واتقوا لكفرنا عنهم سيئاتهم ولأدخلناهم جنات النعيم.
65 Notwithstanding all this, if the Ahlul Kitab had believed in the Quran and adhered to the laws contained therein, the ill effects of their past misdeeds would have been removed and they would have been admitted to Allah's blessings.
ولو أنهم أقاموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليهم من ربهم لأكلوا من فوقهم ومن تحت أرجلهم منهم أمة مقتصدة وكثير منهم ساء ما يعملون.
66 If Jews and Christians had established their systems in conformity to the true teachings of the Torah and Bible, they would have received sustenance from everywhere. They did not do so. Now another opportunity had come to them if they had believed in the revelation contained in the Quran and acted according to its laws. Similar beneficial results would have followed. There are only a few amongst them who follow the middle way. Others are evil-doers. 143 Those who deny the truth cannot follow the right path.
يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين.
67 Despite their opposition, O Rasul, You should continue delivering Allah's message to mankind. If you do not do this, you will fail to perform the function of a Rasul. Allah will safeguard your mission from evildoers. 144 Those who deny the truth deprive themselves of the chance to follow the right path.
قل يا أهل الكتاب لستم على شيء حتى تقيموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليكم من ربكم وليزيدن كثيرا منهم ما أنزل إليك من ربك طغيانا وكفرا فلا تأس على القوم الكافرين.
68 Say, O Ahlul Kitab, until you follow the true teachings of the Torah and the Bible which are contained in the Quran, nothing will be of any avail to you, O Rasul. You will see that the revelations sent to you will provoke greater disdain and car amongst them. You should not grieve for those who reject Allah's revelation.
إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصابئون والنصارى من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
69 The Jews believe that paradise is reserved for the Bani Israel, and the Christians believe that the Messiah atoned for their sins. O Rasul, tell them that this is their vain imagining. Allah's law is that any person from amongst 1. Jews, Christians, Sabaeans. 2. Those who believe in Allah without formally adopting any particular religion. And 3. Those who are Muslim only by virtue of being born in a Muslim family. 4. 136. 57. 28. Whoever believes in Allah's law of mukafat as stated in the Quran and leads life accordingly will be duly compensated. Such persons will lead a life of heavenly bliss, free of fear, grief and anxiety. 2. 62.
لقد أخذنا ميثاق بني إسرائيل وأرسلنا إليهم رسلا كلما جاءهم رسول بما لا تهوى أنفسهم فريقا كذبوا وفريقا يقتلون.
70 This is what we also said to the Bani Israel. We took a covenant from them and sent Rusul, one after another, to them, but instead of following him, as soon as a Rasul said anything which was not agreeable to them, they declared him an impostor and sometimes even plotted to kill him. 2. 87.
وحسبوا ألا تكون فتنة فعموا وصموا ثم تاب الله عليهم ثم عموا وصموا كثير منهم والله بصير بما يعملون.
71 They imagined that regardless of what they did, they were not accountable to anyone. As a result of this attitude of theirs, they lost the capability of understanding because of Allah's law of respite. They were not seized immediately. Some of them took advantage of the opportunity and changed their behavior. They received Allah's blessings. This state of affairs, however, continued for a short while. After that, they resumed their past behavior with the same results. Allah is watching to see how they are behaving now.
لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم وقال المسيح يا بني إسرائيل اعبدوا الله ربي وربكم إنه من يشرك بالله فقد حرم الله عليه الجنة ومأواه النار وما للظالمين من أنصار.
72. The Christians who deify the Messiah, son of Mary, are certainly unbelievers. The Messiah had asked the Bani Israel to obey only Allah, who was his Rab, as well as the Rab of Bani Israel. Whosoever ascribes divinity to any being besides Allah can never be admitted to Jannat, and Jahannam shall be his abode. Such Zalimin shall have no helpers.
لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله ثالث ثلاثة وما من إله إلا إله واحد وإن لم ينتهوا عما يقولون ليمسن الذين كفروا منهم عذاب أليم.
73. Similarly, those who believe in the Trinity are also kafirin. There is no God but Allah, the One. If they will not desist from their wrong belief, they will be considered kafirin, for whom there is great chastisement.
أفلا يتوبون إلى الله ويستغفرونه والله غفور رحيم.
74. Will these people not turn towards Allah and seek His protection? They should remember that He alone is the Protector and Rahim.
ما المسيح ابن مريم إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل وأمه صديقة كانا يأكلان الطعام انظر كيف نبين لهم الآيات ثم انظر أنى يؤفكون.
75. The Messiah was no more than a Rasul. Surely similar Rusul came before him and passed away. 3. 143. The Messiah was a Rasul, and his mother was a woman who upheld the truth. They were human beings and lived on food like other human beings. Mark how clear are Allah's assertions, and notice how the Christians turn away from such plain truth.
قل أتعبدون من دون الله ما لا يملك لكم ضرا ولا نفعا والله هو السميع العليم.
76. Say to the Christians, O Rasul, will you obey, besides Allah, those who do not have the power either to harm you or to benefit you? Allah is all hearing and knowing.
قل يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم غير الحق ولا تتبعوا أهواء قوم قد ضلوا من قبل وأضلوا كثيرا وضلوا عن سواء السبيل.
77. Say to the Ahlul Kitab, do not exceed the limits of your deen. 4. 171. And do not say anything about it except the truth. Do not follow the desires of those who had gone astray in the past, had led many others astray, and are still straying from the right path.
لعن الذين كفروا من بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى بن مريم ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون.
78 to 79. What is being said about the Bani Israel is nothing new. David and Jesus said the same thing about those who adopted Ka'ah from amongst their people. This was because the latter were rebellious and had committed excesses. The concept of good and bad had become so oblivious from their minds that they would not prevent one another from doing whatever hateful things they wanted to do. How heinous was what they did.
ترى كثيرا منهم يتولون الذين كفروا لبئس ما قدمت لهم أنفسهم أن سخط الله عليهم وفي العذاب هم خالدون.
80. You will see many of them befriending the unbelievers. How bad is the material they are preparing for their future, which Allah will never approve of. They will certainly live in torment and distress.
ولو كانوا يؤمنون بالله والنبي وما أنزل إليه ما اتخذوهم أولياء ولكن كثيرا منهم فاسقون.
81. Had they believed in Allah, this Nabi, and in that which has been sent down to him, they would certainly not have taken him as their friends, but many of them are farajikin.
لتجدن أشد الناس عداوة للذين آمنوا اليهود والذين أشركوا ولتجدن أقربهم مودة للذين آمنوا الذين قالوا إنا نصارى ذلك بأن منهم قسيسين ورهبانا وأنهم لا يستكبرون.
82. O Rasul, of all people you will find the Jews and the Mushrikeen of Makkah the most bitter in their enmity towards the believers. On the other hand, you will see those who call themselves the Nazarenes nearest in social relationship to the believers. This is so because amongst them there are priests and monks who are not given to arrogance. Their followers naturally imbibe their character.
وإذا سمعوا ما أنزل إلى الرسول ترى أعينهم تفيض من الدمع مما عرفوا من الحق يقولون ربنا آمنا فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين. وما لنا لا نؤمن بالله وما جاءنا من الحق ونطمع أن يدخلنا ربنا مع القوم الصالحين. فأثابهم الله بما قالوا جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وذلك جزاء المحسنين.
83 to 85. They are so tender-hearted that when they hear what has been revealed to the Rasul and reflect upon it, they recognize its truth, and you will see their eyes overflow with tears. They say, O our Rabb, we believe in this revelation. Reckon us amongst those who bear witness to this truth. When we have recognized the truth, why should we, then, not believe in it? We yearn to be admitted with the community of the Salihin, due to their belief and sincere desire. Allah admitted them into Jannat, wherein streams flow. This is the recompense of those who live according to the divine laws.
والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب الجحيم.
86. On the other hand, Those who reject Allah's laws and consider them false are destined for Jahim.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحرموا طيبات ما أحل الله لكم ولا تعتدوا إن الله لا يحب المعتدين وكلوا مما رزقكم الله حلالا طيبا واتقوا الله الذي أنتم به مؤمنون.
87 to 88. The Christian monks adopted monasticism and renounced many of the pleasant things of life. 57. 27. O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, you should not do this, and do not treat as unlawful the pleasant things which Allah has made lawful for you. If you do this, this will be tantamount to overstepping the bounds. Allah does not like those who do this. You should eat of the wholesome things which Allah has made lawful for you and adhere to the divine laws in which you believe.
لا يؤاخذكم الله باللغو في أيمانكم ولكن يؤاخذكم بما عقدتم الأيمان فكفارته إطعام 10 مساكين من أوسط ما تطعمون أهليكم أو كسوتهم أو تحرير رقبة فمن لم يجد فصيام 3 أيام ذلك كفارة أيمانكم إذا حلفتم واحفظوا أيمانكم كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تشكرون.
89. If you have taken an oath not to partake a particular lawful thing, mind it that Allah holds you accountable only for oaths taken with serious intent and not for frivolous oaths too. 225. The atonement for breaking serious oaths is the feeding of 10 poor persons with such food as your family eats, or the providing of clothes to them, or the setting free of a captive. But one who cannot afford this should fast for 3 days. This is the atonement for breaking serious oaths which you have sworn wrongfully. Serious oaths which you have sworn rightfully must be kept thus. In this way Allah makes His directives clear to you. For this you should be thankful to Him.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر ويصدكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون.
90 to 91. O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, those things which benumb the human intellect, e.g. wine, etc., and easily acquired money, e.g. through games of chance too. 219. Animals sacrificed upon altars and divining arrows. 5. 3 are abominable and devised by Shaitan. So refrain from them in order that you may be prosperous. Shaitan only wants to breed enmity and spite amongst you by means of wine and games of chance, and to hold you back from adhering to Allah's laws, particularly Salat. Will you not refrain from them?
وأطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول واحذروا فإن توليتم فاعلموا أنما على رسولنا البلاغ المبين.
92. You should obey Allah and His Rasul, i.e., the divine order established by the Rasul. And be on your guard. If you turn away, you should know that the Rasul's responsibility is only to deliver the message.
ليس على الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جناح فيما طعموا إذا ما اتقوا وآمنوا وعملوا الصالحات ثم اتقوا وآمنوا ثم اتقوا وأحسنوا والله يحب المحسنين.
93. Those who believe and do good shall not be blamed for what they may have taken before if in future they refrain from eating what is unlawful. Continue to believe, do good and adhere to Allah's laws. They will lead a virtuous life. Allah likes those who lead such lives.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليبلونكم الله بشيء من الصيد تناله أيديكم ورماحكم ليعلم الله من يخافه بالغيب فمن اعتدى بعد ذلك فله عذاب أليم.
94. As stated earlier. 5. 1. Hunting while performing Hajj is prohibited if there is an animal which is lawful and within your lance's reach. You would be greatly tempted to hunt it. In such a situation it will become manifest whether you adhere to Allah's laws or not. Whoever transgresses the limitations imposed by Allah will suffer a painful chastisement.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقتلوا الصيد وأنتم حرم ومن قتله منكم متعمدا فجزاء مثل ما قتل من النعم يحكم به ذوى عدل منكم هديا بالغ الكعبة أو كفارة طعام مساكين أو عدل ذلك صياما ليذوق وبال أمره عفى الله عما سلف ومن عاد فينتقم الله منه والله عزيز ذو انتقام.
95. So, O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, you should kill no game while you are performing pilgrimage if anyone does so intentionally. He should bring to the Kaaba as compensation the offering of an animal of like value, this being determined by two just persons, or he may atone by feeding the poor, or by fasting for an appropriate period. This is required so that he may realize the gravity of his deed. Allah has overlooked what was done in the past, but if anyone repeats the offense, Allah will impose a penalty upon him. Allah has the power and authority to impose punishment.
أحل لكم صيد البحر وطعامه متاعا لكم وللسيارة وحرم عليكم صيد البر ما دمتم حرما واتقوا الله الذي إليه تحشرون.
96. Prohibition of hunting during the state of pilgrimage is confined to game living on land. The game of the sea, whether it is in the water or has been thrown upon the land, is however lawful as provision for you as well as for those who are on a journey. Every action will be judged according to Allah's law of mukafat.
جعل الله الكعبة البيت الحرام قياما للناس والشهر الحرام والشهر الحرام والهدي والقلائد ذلك لتعلموا أن الله يعلم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وأن الله بكل شيء عليم اعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب وأن الله غفور رحيم ما على الرسول إلا البلاغ والله يعلم ما تبدون وما تكتمون.
97 to 99 Allah has made the Kaaba a sanctuary and also the center of the divine order whose ultimate aim is to set all humanity upon its feet, making it independent. You should respect the sanctity of the months during which war is prohibited and abstain from injuring animals brought by the pilgrims. These things are told to you so that you should know that Allah is protector and Rahim, but he is also very strict in punishing so far as the Rasul is concerned. His function is only to deliver the message, but Allah knows what you do openly and in secret.
قل لا يستوي الخبيث والطيب ولو أعجبك كثرة الخبيث فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب لعلكم تفلحون.
100 Say to them, O Rasul, the lawful and the unlawful are not alike in value, even though the abundance of what is unlawful may appear attractive to you. Therefore, O people of wisdom and reflection, adhere to the laws of Allah so that you may prosper.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تسألوا عن أشياء إن تبد لكم تسؤكم وإن تسألوا عنها حين ينزل القرآن تبد لكم عفى الله عنها والله غفور حليم. قد سألها قوم من قبلكم ثم أصبحوا بها كافرين.
101 to 102 Jamaat al-Mu'minin. What is necessary for the guidance of mankind has been given through the revelation and prescribed in the Quran. Do not probe into what has not been revealed. If you probe into it while the Quran is being revealed and your question is answered, it may cause you embarrassment, so it is better for you to avoid such discussion. And if you do something which is wrong and there is no revelations, Allah will overlook that, as Allah has in past overlooked such failings, for he is forbearing and protective. People before you, Bani Israel, used to ask Moses such questions. The result of their probing was that they made extra revelatory laws, a part of an unchangeable Shariat, and when they found this Shariat impracticable, they repudiated the deen itself too. 108 You should not do that.
ما جعل الله من بحيرة ولا سائبة ولا وصيلة ولا حام ولكن الذين كفروا يفترون على الله الكذب وأكثرهم لا يعقلون.
103 Allah has not sanctioned the practices of the mushrikeen associated with Bahira, Saiba, Wasila and Hami, animals dedicated to idols and set free. If these people claim that these practices have been enjoined by Allah, they tell a lie. Even human reason would show that these practices are mere superstition.
وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا إلى ما أنزل الله وإلى الرسول قالوا حسبنا ما وجدنا عليه آباءنا أولو كان آباؤهم لا يعلمون شيئا ولا يهتدون.
104 When they are asked to come to what Allah has revealed and to His Rasul, they will say, "No, we will only follow in the footsteps of our ancestors." In other words, they would follow in the footsteps of their ancestors even if the latter lacked knowledge and wisdom and did not follow the right path revealed by Allah too. 170
يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم إلى الله مرجعكم جميعا فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون.
105 O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, you alone are responsible for the development of your personality nafs if you follow the right path, which may be different from your ancestors' path. You will not be harmed by those who follow the wrong path. After all human actions are judged according to Allah's law of mukafat.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا شهادة بينكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت حين الوصية اثنان ذوا عدل منكم أو آخران من غيركم إن أنتم ضربتم في الأرض فأصابتكم مصيبة الموت تحبسونهما من بعد الصلاة فيقسمان بالله إن ارتبتم لا نشتري به ثمنا ولو كان ذا قربى ولا نكتم شهادة الله إنا إذا لمن الآثمين.
106 It has been laid down earlier that it is incumbent upon every Momin to make a legally valid will for his relatives and others close to him too. 180 When anyone approaches death and makes a bequest, there should be 2 just witnesses from amongst you, or lacking that 2 from amongst others if he is on a journey, if the witnesses are required to give evidence. The appropriate authority may detain him after Salat if the party against whom they have testified suspects them of untruth. They may swear by Allah saying, "We have not sold our evidence for any price to anyone, even though he may be a kindred, and we will not conceal the truth and will give evidence only for Allah's sake. If we tell a lie, we will certainly commit an offense."
فإن عثر على أنهما استحقا إثما فآخران يقومان مقامهما من الذين استحق عليهم الأوليان فيقسمان بالله لشهادتنا أحق من شهادتهما وما اعتدينا إنا إذا لمن الظالمين.
107 If it is discovered later that the evidence given by them was not true, the party against whom they have testified may bring 2 witnesses from amongst them who would swear by Allah and say, "We affirm that what we will say is more correct than what the previous witnesses have said, and we will not transgress the limits imposed by Allah. If we do this, we will be reckoned amongst the Zalimin."
ذلك أدنى أن يأتوا بالشهادة على وجهها أو يخافوا أن ترد أيمان بعد أيمانهم واتقوا الله واسمعوا والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين.
108 In this way it will be more likely that the witnesses will be true to facts, since they will be afraid that they might be contradicted by others under an equally solemn oath. O Jamaat al-Mu'minin, you should keep in mind Allah's laws, hearken to His command, and remember that those who disobey His laws cannot follow the right path.
يوم يجمع الله الرسل فيقول ماذا أجبتم قالوا لا علم لنا إنك أنت علام الغيوب.
109 On the day of reckoning, Allah will assemble the Rusul and ask them, what response did you get to your call, and to what extent have your followers acted upon it? They would reply, we do not have exact knowledge, because we could only see what was apparent. You, and you alone, know what was hidden.
إذ قال الله يا عيسى ابن مريم اذكر نعمتي عليك وعلى والدتك إذ أيدتك بروح القدس تكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا وإذ علمتك الكتاب والحكمة والتوراة والإنجيل وإذ تخلق من الطين كهيئة الطير بإذني فتنفخ فيها فتكون طيرا بإذني وتبرئ الأكمه والأبرص بإذني وإذ تخرج الموتى بإذني وإذ كففت بني إسرائيل عنك إذ جئتهم بالبينات فقال الذين كفروا منهم إن هذا إلا سحر مبين.
110 In this respect, the case of the followers of Jesus is particularly pertinent. 117 When Allah said to Jesus, recall my blessings to you and to your mother, I have given you revelation in an authentic form which gave you tremendous strength and confidence. You preached to people from an early age to an advanced age. 45 I had taught you the book and the wisdom, i.e. the Torah and the Bible. On the basis of this teaching, you said to the Bani Israel, if you follow my teachings, this will give you a new life and uplift you, enabling you to soar in the heights. According to Allah's laws, at present you are blind. You will gain new sight. At present people shun you. Your new life will be most respectable. At present the fields of your efforts are barren and lifeless. Through this revelation they will become green and fruitful. 48 111 6 123 You were giving the Bani Israel these kinds of tidings, but they were plotting to kill you. They rejected your teachings by saying that it was nothing but a lie.
وإذ أوحيت إلى الحواريين أن آمنوا بي وبرسولي قالوا آمنا واشهد بأننا مسلمون.
111 Allah further said to Jesus, when I asked your companions through the revelation given to you, believe in me and in my Rasul, they said we believe and bear witness that we are Muslims.
إذ قال الحواريون يا عيسى ابن مريم هل يستطيع ربك أن ينزل علينا مائدة من السماء قال اتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين.
112 Without the establishment of the Nizam-e-Rabubiyat, humanity is degraded, since people are generally compelled out of necessity to barter their self-respect for bread. The companions of Jesus said to him, is it not possible for your Rabb to establish such a system? Jesus replied, it is possible, provided you have trust in Allah and adhere to His laws.
قالوا نريد أن نأكل منها وتطمئن قلوبنا ونعلم أن قد صدقتنا ونكون عليها من الشاهدين.
113 They said, "If this done, we will be satisfied and we will bear witness that you have indeed spoken the truth to us."
قال عيسى ابن مريم اللهم ربنا أنزل علينا مائدة من السماء تكون لنا عيدا لأولنا وآخرنا وآية منك وارزقنا وأنت خير الرازقين.
114 Thereupon, Jesus, son of Mary, said to Allah, "Help us to establish such a system which will be a means of rejoicing for us as well as for those who would come after us, provided they continue to uphold the system, and this would be practical. Proof regarding the truthfulness of your law, O Allah. Provide us your sustenance, because all this which we get according to your law is much better than what we get through man-made systems."
قال الله إني منزلها عليكم فمن يكفر بعد منكم فإني أعذبه عذابا لا أعذبه أحدا من العالمين.
115 Allah replied, "This will be done, but beware that whosoever amongst you turns away from it will receive a chastisement such as was not given to anyone else in the world."
وإذ قال الله يا عيسى ابن مريم أأنت قلت للناس اتخذوني وأمي إلهين من دون الله قال سبحانك ما يكون لي أن أقول ما ليس لي بحق إن كنت قلته فقد علمته تعلم ما في نفسي ولا أعلم ما في نفسك إنك أنت علام الغيوب. ما قلت لهم إلا ما أمرتني به أن اعبدوا الله ربي وربكم وكنت عليهم شهيدا ما دمت فيهم فلما توفيتني كنت أنت الرقيب عليهم وأنت على كل شيء شهيد. إن تعذبهم فإنهم عبادك وإن تغفر لهم فإنك أنت العزيز الحكيم.
116 to 118 And when Allah will say, "O Jesus, son of Mary, did you ask people to deify you and your mother besides Allah?" He will say, "Your knowledge extends much beyond mine. How could it behave me to say that which I know to be untrue? If I had said such a thing, surely you would have known it. You know even what is in my heart, but I do not know what you know. You, and you alone, know all what is hidden from us." I said nothing to them except what you bid me to say, which was that they should obey Allah, who is their Rabb as well as mine, as long as I stayed with them. I kept a vigilant watch over them, but when you completed the term of my life, you alone watched over them. You have devised measures for everything if you punish them. They are devotes to you, or if you forgive them. You have the absolute power, but your power is blended with wisdom.
قال الله هذا يوم ينفع الصادقين صدقهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك الفوز العظيم.
119 Allah will say, "This is the day when the truth of the truthful will benefit them, they shall have gardens wherein streams flow, where they will dwell beyond the count of time. This is because they adhered to Allah's law and Allah recompensed them for it. This is, indeed, the highest achievement."
لله ملك السماوات والأرض وما فيهن وهو على كل شيء قدير.
120 This is Allah's law of mukafat which encompasses the universe. He wields power over all.